And I don't mean it disrespectfully when I say they just don't beat Jaron Ennis. In fact, that style is absolutely tailor-made for Boots.
Do you feel like Boots belongs on the top pound for pound right now?
Not yet. I don't think so. Not right now. I just, like you said, we have so many people right now, and
well, because Vergil loves fighting tough guys. He doesn't run from anybody. He doesn't shy away from the tough matches. So,
and my dad's like, hey, they're probably gonna announce it, and like within the next few days. I'm like, oh fuck, where? And then it didn't happen.
Every boxing lover wants to see this match happen. Vergil Ortiz Jr. against Jaron Boots Ennis. Both fighters have never lost, and they're heading straight for each other.
You can try and downplay it, but I don't give a fuck. Jaron Boots Ennis is the best fighter in boxing today. I keep saying about Vergil, I respect those guys. I love Robert Garcia. The same thing will happen to Vergil Ortiz. It might take a few rounds longer, but he will absolutely slice him up.
But here's the problem. This amazing match is stuck in endless arguments, rejections, and mixed-up statements. It has turned into an ugly battle of comments where each camp says the other one is avoiding the ring. However, when you look closer, things become more confusing. And right now, we're finally finding out who's actually backing away.
Who's your dream fight? Who do you see yourself having a mega fight with in your career that's gonna, transcend you to the next level?
Any of the champions, Vergil Ortiz, it's a super fight. Any of the champions at 154. I'm here to make my mark, and it's starting this Saturday. For me, my legacy is to be, collect them belts, be, multiple weight division champion, undisputed at 54 if possible, and keep doing it at each and every weight class, 154, 60, and, maybe 68. That's my goal, and to fight these top guys. And, it's going to happen, one by one, we're going to bring them.
Oscar De La Hoya fired the recent comments. During the last media event before Vergil Ortiz faces Erickson Lubin, the Golden Boy boss made a bold challenge. He wasn't simply talking up his boxer. He was directly calling out Boots Ennis and his promoter Eddie Hearn, who said they'd be watching from the crowd.
If you go back to, if you rewind a bit, you remember when Boots Ennis fought and Eddie was like, let's fight Vergil now, and they were on TV, on camera saying this and that, and then right after they were off camera, it's like nothing happened. We were calling out Boots Ennis and they didn't want to do it. They wanted a tune-up fight, this and that. I understand all that. As a fighter, yes, you want tune-up fights, but come on, how many tune-up fights do you need?
De La Hoya says their attendance isn't intimidating, it's foolish. He said that once they see what Vergil accomplishes live, they're going to panic and they'll be the ones backing out of the match.
Vergil Ortiz is ready at 154, and I'm glad, like I said, Boots Ennis is coming down to watch this fight. I'm actually really glad he is. But then again, I am afraid that Boots Ennis is gonna see Vergil and he's gonna tell Eddie, I don't want Vergil next. Let me have another tune-up fight.
But De La Hoya kept going. He shared a surprising new piece to the story, something that changes who's actually delaying things. According to Oscar, the huge fight was close to being confirmed. He says the agreement was nearly complete, but then suddenly, Boots' camp supposedly stopped everything. Their excuse, they unexpectedly required a warm-up match.
look, first the fight was gonna get made. Then Boots needed a tune-up fight and another tune-up fight, I believe. Vergil's always been ready. He's always been there waiting for whoever. That's who Vergil is. No, he doesn't shy away from any challenge. And the fact that they're gonna come down to see Vergil Ortiz, it tells you everything. He's a superstar. Everybody wants to watch him. Even Eddie Hearn from the UK wants to fly down, and Boots Ennis from Philadelphia wants to see it front row in person and be in awe.
This statement suggests Ennis, not Ortiz, was the fighter who wasn't prepared to make it official. However, this isn't the first time this match has fallen apart because of public blame. We need to go back to 2024 when everything was totally opposite. It was Boots and Ennis's dad and coach, Buzianis, who spoke out initially. Buzianis said that Ortiz's side had received an agreement and that Ortiz's side had completely rejected it.
Just to make it clear on Vergil Ortiz, we sat in a room, me, Oscar De La Hoya, Eric Gomez, and the top DAZN execs in America. We talked about how a deal would work with those two fighters, and we agreed on a deal. We went away, we signed a new deal with Boots. Part of that deal within the contract was the deal that we agreed with Golden Boy and DAZN to fight Vergil Ortiz. Boots signed it. Now, we didn't hear anything back. We told them we're going to fight in October. They said they're going to fight in November, and we haven't heard anything back.
Back then, the story was clear. Vergil Ortiz was running from Boots.
On Tuesday, Eric Gomez called me and he said, look, I just wanted to let you know we're fighting Lubin. After that, we want to get the Boots fight made. I said, well, we're in. I don't, you know. So I take their word for it, and I truly believe Oscar De La Hoya wants to make great fights. But that fight is done on our side, on all the terms that we agreed with Golden Boy. That fight for me, although it doesn't carry an official world championship, which is what we want at 54, is one of the best fights in boxing.
The answer from Golden Boy was quick and harsh. Oscar De La Hoya went on social platforms, rejecting the statement with one word. He cautioned that everybody would quickly discover who actually refuses the match.
But genuinely, you do feel he's a very skilled fighter.
Oh, yes. Yeah, maybe top 15 for sure.
Right.
Maybe not top 10.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
So let's get into that then. How true is that there was a real offer made to Boots,
Yeah,
and he turned it down? And could you talk about like what was offered to him?
when I went to Riyadh the first time in November, and I met up with Turkey, I went to his his compound, his farm or whatever it was, and they said that more than likely I was going to fight Boots soon. I was like, oh shit, okay, we're finally doing this. You know, Oscar was there and everyone was there, and I was just like, okay, cool.
At
this
154, obviously.
Yeah, because I can't move down.
Vergil Ortiz Jr. himself had to step in. He openly said that it was my first time learning about this and emphasized, I never refused anything. This caused a deadlock, a straight contradiction that made supporters question who was dishonest.
So when Turkey and those guys said that you were going to fight Boots, was there a number thrown out?
There was no number.
number.
There was no number at all. The only thing that I knew was that, okay, this is a real possibility now. Like, then I think the next week, I was at home and my dad's like, hey, they're probably gonna announce it. And like within the next few days, I'm like, oh fuck, we're fighting. All right, so I'm like getting mentally prepared and all this shit. And then it didn't happen. That's when I got word that he turned it down. But no, I'm not gonna say he turned it down. That's just what I heard, you know, because I don't like being on the other end of.
But what Vergil shared afterward shifted the whole picture of the discussions. For quite some time, Ortiz was inactive, and people thought his warm-up matches showed he was dodging elite opponents. Vergil eventually explained his version of events. His time away wasn't about strategy or avoidance. He was dealing with a dangerous medical condition. Ortiz shared he was suffering from rhabdomyolysis, a severe illness that threatened not just his profession but his survival. This wasn't someone running from competition. This was someone simply trying to recover.
As far as the negotiation, I'm not a manager, right? So I don't take part of any of that. All I know is that we can start from the beginning. 147, you know, we're both upcoming prospects or whatever. Fight doesn't happen. I always felt like it was gonna happen at 154 anyways. All right, I move up to 154, past rhabdomyolysis. I had to get in a couple of tune-up fights because I just came back from a life-threatening illness. And we really wanted to make sure that I was even still okay to fight because that's how bad it was. So I got those fights out of the way. Then we fight Bohachuk, then we fight Majimov. Jaron Ennis got a world title at 147 or a couple of them, I think. Good for him. He has a lot of momentum going his way. You know, if I had that much momentum, I would have went straight to the big fight at 154, if I'm being honest. I'm just that kind of guy, I guess. But when it was time to say yes to fight, I was the only one that said yes. So now you have a lot of people that were saying that I was ducking at 147 when there was no fight to be offered or anything like that. The only times that the fight has ever been offered to either of us, I have said yes. So when people are saying ducking, when they align that word with me, I'm not talking about if they want to align it with him, they should. I don't care about that. But they want to align it with me, then they can't say that because I said yes.
And that's when Vergil Ortiz Jr. fired back with his own crushing statement. In a latest conversation, he talked about the timing directly. He described his healing process, the warm-up matches he required to restore his fitness, and then he revealed the shocking truth. Ortiz said that after he was finally recovered, when the healing was done and it was really time to make it official, I was the single person that agreed. This one statement reverses the whole story.
Vergil, you know that Eddie Hearn and Jaron Boots Ennis are going to be ringside at your fight on Saturday, and as you know, you've been in talks with these guys for a while now, pretty much all this year, some of last year, and the fight still hasn't been made. Do you think it's finally going to happen next, and what are you going to show them at ringside?
We'll see. You know, I've already said yes. I mean, that's all I can do, right? So we'll see. We'll see. It's really not up to me, I guess.
And from your standpoint then, what is the biggest barrier to this fight happening? Why hasn't it happened yet? Because like you said, you've said yes, so.
I mean, I don't know. There's really nothing else that I can do at this point, right? So the barrier, it's somewhere on their side. So it's whether it's someone, something, or some amount of money, I don't know. That's completely on them.
Vergil is claiming that when the critical moment came, he was prepared to fight, suggesting Ennis's camp was the side that eventually stopped responding. So, what is Boots doing in this risky promotional battle?
There's no one in the 154-pound division is going to touch it. If you look at the finish and the combinations, the hand speed's blistering, the power is frightening. Lima was like, you know, and it was just, I just wanted a statement. And that was a statement of all statements. But we got to prove it with the resume. He's 28 years old. He's 10 years younger than Terence Crawford. We haven't even touched the surface yet. This is the most special fighter I've ever worked with by a mile. And we are just getting started. And I can't wait for him to be in these fights. I can't wait to duke it out with Oscar and Vergil Ortiz. Oscar tweeted and said, there's only one fighter, Vergil Ortiz, in 154. Then make the fight. If you truly believe you can beat Jaron Ennis, make the fight. Talk about Tom and Jerry, talk about all this kind of stuff. He's a defensive genius, but he'll also come in and take you to pieces and knock you spark out.
The news that Ennis and Eddie Hearn will be watching from the audience for the Ortiz-Lubin match is a huge strategic move. It's a quiet but threatening signal. They are actually appearing in Vergil's territory to observe him. A direct and obvious declaration that they aren't afraid, that they aren't delaying, and that they want the victor.
I think that when you look at U.S. fights, Vergil against Boots is in the top three. Two in their prime American fighters, black fighter versus a Mexican fighter, Northeast fighter versus a Texas-based fighter. You got all the elements for a great super fight. It was disappointing that we didn't get it at 147. I think if Vergil beats Lubin and looks impressive, it's going to be even bigger at 154. I think that's a Vegas fight. It's a pay-per-view fight. I think that's one of the marquee fights of 2026 if Vergil could get it.
In the end, we have two of the top unbeaten boxers globally, two of the most powerful promoters in boxing, and two totally opposite accounts.
How far can Boots go? Can he be pound for pound one of the top fighters in the world, 1, 2, or 3 at some point?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's already around there. Like, you know, he's looking to crack that top 10.
Right.
You know, with the right win, I think he'll get in there.
Right. How do you feel about him going up to 154 and maybe people want to see him and Vergil Ortiz?
I think that's the fight. I mean, you win that fight, you definitely in the top 10 to me.
Right.
You know,
for sure.
That's a young champion, a young killer just like you. That's what makes good fights. Young, hungry fighters.
Right.
That's when you know there's going to be a fight, you know?
Is De La Hoya's fear comments just his method to create excitement and push his competitor? Is Vergil's story supported by his real health crisis the absolute reality? Or is Boots' quiet audience presence the final evidence of who's actually pursuing who?
Right.
They fighting for legacy. They fighting for that. They want that big bag. They want to be a champion. They want all that stuff. So that fight right there is probably would be like a fight of the year type fight.
Who wins?
I think Boots beats him just because Vergil he can fight, but I think he's going to be in front of him. He's going to be in front of Boots, and that's his style. Right. His tailor-made style.
The taller, longer fighter with the better defense should be favored, and that's Boots, right? Because generally, that guy wins those fights. But it's a different thing than actually going out and beating Vergil Ortiz and doing it in style. If he
especially
fights,
in that type of manner.
Who should be the favorite in that fight, Shady?
I'm going with Boots.
Favored.
Yeah.
He should be the betting favorite. Yes.
I think this is a genuine coin flip fight. I really do. And I think we have to remember that Vergil Ortiz has fought the much, much better competition.
That's true.
He beat Israel Madrimov, very quality win. Madrimov
quality
gave Crawford all he could handle.
This fight happens and Boots wins a close, tough fight. Then he is at least what we think he is.
One camp says they required a warm-up. The other camp says I was the single person who agreed. The only guaranteed thing is that this battle won't be decided by conversations, media events, or audience stares. The actual reality will only be revealed inside that 17 by 7 foot ring.
Boots doesn't want to fight Vergil. Boots is not going to fight Vergil next. You know, whatever they say, oh, there's a signed contract already, that's all. You know, there's Boots is not going to fight. You know, Boots is not going to fight Vergil next. You know, he's gonna show up. You know, why didn't they call us up and invite us to his fight 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? Whenever he just fought recently. You know, you come to ours, we go to yours. We know we promote the fight. That would have been the perfect idea to do. But you know, they want to show up. You know, and they are gonna show up. That doesn't make a difference. You know, Vergil's gonna do his job. But you know, that's just kind of like trying to get the media, the press to believe that they're ready for the fight. I know they're not. I know they already have a date where they already have, you know, a possible opponent already. So it's all part of the show, part of promoting the event, part of promoting his fighter, and Eddie's doing a great job doing it.
So that wraps up today's content. If you liked it, please hit the like button, follow our channel, and activate that notification icon so you won't miss our future content. And please drop your opinions in the comments area. Keep watching, and we'll see you in the following video.